You know, I used to think it was the anger that made people afraid. The yelling, the fists through walls, the uncontrollable fury that makes your blood boil and your vision blur. That's what they expect from you, rage. They're waiting for it, begging for it, because they know how to deal with it. It's predictable. It's manageable. They've got their hands ready to put out that fire, to cage the beast that roars. But you didn't give them that satisfaction, did you? No, you did something far more terrifying. You stayed quiet. You swallowed every ounce of anger, every scream, every curse that threatened to spill from your lips. You kept it all locked up inside behind a cold, impenetrable silence. And that silence? Oh, it's louder than any scream you could ever muster. They don't know what to do with silence. They can't read it, can't predict it. It's like staring into the abyss, and the abyss staring right back at them. They thought they knew you. They thought they could push you, twist you, break you. But now they're left wondering what's going on behind those blank eyes, that stone-cold face. They're scared because your silence is the calm before a storm they can't see coming. You see, people love to control the narrative. They want you to react, to lash out, because then they can point their fingers and say, look, see? They're unstable. They're the problem. It's all a game, a twisted little dance where they push, and you're supposed to push back. That's what they expected. But instead, you gave them nothing, just silence. And now, they're terrified. Silence is a weapon. One they don't know how to defend against. It makes them doubt themselves. They replay every word they said, every action they took, wondering if they went too far. It's eating away at them right now. Oh, they're losing sleep over it. The silence you gave them is haunting them, echoing in their minds, because it's a reminder of everything they did, every lie, every betrayal, every knife they stabbed into your back. It's all there, reflected in that cold, empty silence. And here's the truth they don't want you to know. They fear what they can't understand. They can handle your anger because it's familiar. But silence? Silence is a mystery. It's unpredictable. It's the look in your eyes that says, I've seen hell, and I've made peace with it. It's the way you carry yourself, like someone who's been through the darkest of nights and emerged on the other side, not broken, but forged. You don't owe them your anger. You don't owe them anything. Let them sit in their discomfort. Let them wonder what's going on inside that head of yours. It's driving them mad, you know. They can't stand it. Because they can't control it. They can't control you. And that's the scariest thing of all for people like them, losing control. They thought they had power over you. They thought they could hurt you, and you'd come crawling back, begging for their validation. But look at you now. You're standing taller than ever, not because you shouted louder, but because you learned to stand in silence. You became the calm in the eye of the storm, the silence before the shattering of the glass. And they know, deep down, they know that when you finally do speak, when you finally make your move, it will be devastating. Bravo. Oh, bravo, my friend. You've done what so few can do. You've learned the art of silence. You've mastered the weapon they never saw coming. And now they're scrambling, tripping over their own feet, trying to figure out what comes next. They're expecting you to explode, to burn everything down in a fit of rage. But you and I both know the real explosion is the one they'll never see coming. Remember this, silence is not weakness. It's power. It's control. It's the ability to hold your ground, to choose your battles, to wait until the right moment to strike. And when that moment comes, when you finally decide to break that silence, it won't be with a scream or a shout. It'll be with a whisper that echoes louder than any roar. A single word, a single action that will shake the very foundations of everything they thought they knew. They wanted your anger, but your silence is what haunts them. It's what keeps them up at night, staring at the ceiling, replaying every conversation, every moment, wondering where they went wrong. They're drowning in the silence you left behind. And they don't even realize it's their own guilt, their own betrayal that's pulling them under. So let them fear your silence. Let them choke on it. It's the consequence of their own actions, the ghost of their own mistakes. And when you finally decide to speak, when you finally shatter that silence, it won't be out of anger. It'll be out of clarity, out of strength, out of the power you found in the stillness they could never understand. They expected your anger, my friend, but it's your silence that terrifies them. And that's the sweetest revenge of all. You're sitting there, still holding it in, aren't you? All that hurt, all that disappointment. You wear it like armor now. It's heavy, sure, but it's also strong. They don't realize what they've created, do they? They thought they could break you, shatter you into a million pieces. But instead, you took every piece they tried to rip apart and built a fortress of silence. They pushed you, tested you, and they thought they'd see you crack. They were ready for the outburst, ready to blame you for everything. But when you didn't react the way they wanted, when you just stared back with those empty eyes, that stone-cold silence, they didn't know what to do. You flipped the script. Suddenly, you were no longer the victim, no longer the one they could control. You want to know why they're scared of your silence? Because it means they no longer hold the power. It's like walking into a room and hearing nothing but your own heartbeat. It's the kind of quiet that makes you second guess everything. They expected a a messy, loud, predictable fight. But you gave them the quiet aftermath of a war they didn't win. And now, they're standing there in the ruins, looking around, wondering how they ended up on the losing side. You see, silence isn't just the absence of noise. It's a statement. It's the echo of everything you didn't say, everything you chose to keep inside because you knew they weren't ready for it. It's the look in your eyes that says, I've been through worse, and I survived. It's the calm, collected way you breathe while they're losing their minds, scrambling for control. They thought they were dealing with a broken, shattered soul, but instead, they're facing someone who's seen the darkest corners of life and learned to thrive in the shadows. Let me tell you something, they live for your reaction. It's like fuel to them. They feed off your pain, your anger, because it makes them feel powerful. It makes them feel like they still matter in your world. But when you take that away, when you give them nothing but silence, it's like ripping the ground out from under their feet. They don't know where to stand anymore. They're left dangling, clutching at straws, desperate for a sign that they still have a hold on you. And here's the beauty of it. You've taken back the power without even lifting a finger. No shouting, no cursing, no throwing things around. Just silence. The kind that echoes louder than any scream could. The kind that haunts them because it's filled with everything they fear. The realization that they no longer control the narrative. Think about the times they tried to provoke you. Remember that? The sneers, the insults, the little digs they thought would push you over the edge. They expected you to lash out, to give them something they could use against you. But instead, you just looked at them with that hollow, indifferent stare. You didn't give them the satisfaction of seeing you break. You left them standing there, choking on their own bitterness, while you walked away without a word. That's when they realized they're not dealing with the same person anymore. The old you would have fought back, would have yelled and screamed until your voice was hoarse. But this new version of you, this version is a mystery. It's unpredictable. It's dangerous because they don't know what you're thinking. They don't know if you're plotting your next move or if you've simply decided they're not worth your time. You know, there's a kind of freedom in not reacting. It's like watching a storm from behind bulletproof glass. You can see the chaos, the lightning, the destruction, but you're untouched by it. You're safe in your silence, watching them destroy themselves in their own madness. And it's poetic, really. The same people who tried to break you are now breaking themselves, caught up in the web of their own lies and manipulations. So let them wonder. Let them toss and turn at night, trying to figure out what you're planning, what you're thinking. Let them choke on their own guilt drowning in the silence you left behind. Because that silence, it's not empty. It's filled with every unsaid word, every uncried tear, every broken promise they made. It's a graveyard of all the things they thought would destroy you, now buried deep in the silence they can't escape. You've become their ghost, the presence they can't shake off, the shadow that follows them everywhere. And every time they hear silence, they'll think of you. Every quiet moment is a reminder of the strength you found in not giving them what they wanted. They expected your anger, your fury, but instead, they got silence, an endless, echoing silence that terrifies them more than any scream ever could. You've won, my friend, not by fighting their battles, but by refusing to play their game. You've turned their own expectations against them. And now, as they sit there, haunted by the silence they can't break, they're finally realizing what you've known all along. Silence isn't a retreat. It's a victory. It's the calm before a storm they'll never see coming. They expected your anger, but your silence, that's what will haunt them forever. You know why they fear you now? Because you're not playing by their rules anymore. You've thrown away the script they wrote for you, the part where you're supposed to be the broken one, the loud one, the one who falls apart while they stand by and watch. That's what they counted on. That's why they pushed you so hard. They thought they knew your breaking point, thought they could predict your every move. But instead of shattering like glass, you turned into stone, silent, cold, and unbreakable. They thought they could hurt you. They thought they'd leave you gasping for air, clutching at your chest, begging for some kind of relief. But here you are, standing tall, breathing steady, not a single tear left in your eyes. You've become a monument of everything they couldn't destroy. And that silence, it's the proof. It's the scar they can't see, but they can feel it. Oh, they feel it like a knife twisting in their gut every time they look at you. You've mastered something they'll never understand. See, silence isn't just the absence of noise. It's the loudest scream they'll never hear. It's the aftermath of every battle you fought alone, every war you waged in your own mind and came out victorious. They weren't there when you were fighting those demons, were they? They didn't see the nights you spent staring at the ceiling, trying to make sense of the chaos inside your head. No. They only showed up when they thought they could take advantage of your vulnerability. You felt it, haven't you? That cold, empty feeling when you realized they never really cared. They only wanted to use you, to mold you into what they needed, to feed off your energy like parasites. And when they were done, when they drained every last drop of your kindness, they left. They didn't look back. They didn't care about the mess they left behind. They expected you to crumble, to fall apart without them. But instead, you became silent, not because you had nothing to say, but because you realized they didn't deserve to hear your voice anymore. Your silence was the final gift you gave them. The one they didn't understand was a curse. Oh, they're panicking now. They're running in circles, trying to figure out what went wrong. They're whispering to each other, why aren't they reacting? Why aren't they fighting back? It's driving them insane. Because your silence is a mirror they can't look away from. It reflects every lie they told, every fake smile they gave, every moment they pretended to care. They expected you to scream, to rage, to make a scene, but instead, you just walked away. And that silence, it's louder than any argument could ever be. You didn't deserve what they did to you. You didn't deserve the betrayal, the lies, the way they twisted everything to make it look like you were the problem. But here's the thing they never understood. You were never the problem. You were the strength they didn't have, the loyalty they couldn't offer, the truth they were too afraid to face. And when they realized they couldn't break you, they did the only thing they knew how to do. They left. And now, look at them. They're haunted by the ghost of your silence. Every time they close their eyes, they hear it. It's the sound of everything they lost, everything they took for granted. It's the echo of your absence, ringing louder in their ears than any words you could have said. They wake up in the middle of the night, sweating, heart racing, because they're still waiting for the explosion that never came. But the real explosion, oh, it's happening inside them right now. It's the realization that they can't undo what they did, can't take back the words they said. It's the slow, creeping understanding that they pushed you too far, and now they'll never hear your voice again. Your silence is the grave they dug for themselves, and they're buried in it, choking on the dirt of their own regrets. You know, there's a kind of poetry to it, isn't there? They expected you to burn everything down in a blaze of fury, but instead, you let it all go cold. They wanted chaos, but you gave them calm. They wanted a reaction, but you gave them nothing. And that nothing, it's the heaviest burden they've ever carried. You did what most people can't do. You found strength in silence. You found power in restraint. You turned your pain into a fortress they can't penetrate. And now, as they sit there, drowning in the silence you left behind, they're finally understanding what true power looks like. It's not the loudest scream or the biggest explosion. It's the quiet resolve of someone who's been through hell and come out the other side. Not as a victim, but as a survivor. So let them fear your silence. Let it echo in their minds long after you've walked away. Because they expected your anger, but your silence, that's the part that will haunt them forever. You know what the real joke is? They thought you needed them. They thought they were the center of your world, the pillar holding you up. They convinced themselves that without their approval, without their praise, you'd crumble into dust. But look at you now, standing taller than ever, your back straight, your head high. And them? They're the ones crumbling, falling apart under the weight of their own expectations. It's almost poetic, isn't it? The way they tried to break you, only to end up breaking themselves. You've become a mirror for them, a reflection of everything they wanted to be, but couldn't. Your silence is a reminder of their own weakness, their own inability to face the truth. They wanted your anger, because anger is easy. It's simple, predictable. But silence is complex. It's layered. It's the kind of weapon that cuts deep without making a sound. It's the blade they never saw coming, slicing through their lies and leaving them exposed. You see, people like them. They thrive on chaos. They create drama, stir up conflict, because it distracts from the emptiness inside them. They poke and prod, waiting for you to explode, because then they can point the finger and say, see, they're the problem, not me. It's a game they've played for so long, they've forgotten how to exist without it. But you changed the rules. You stopped playing their game. You chose silence instead of shouting, calm instead of chaos. And that's what terrifies them. They're sitting there right now, replaying every conversation, every argument, every moment they thought they had the upper hand. They're wondering where it all went wrong. They're trying to figure out why they feel so empty, so unsettled. And the answer is staring them right in the face. It's you. It's the silence you left behind. It's the void they can't fill, no matter how much noise they make. They wanted to be your weakness. They wanted to be the reason you lost sleep, the reason you doubted yourself. But instead, you turned them into a lesson, a reminder of what happens when you give too much of yourself to people who only know how to take. They expected you to come crawling back, begging for their forgiveness, their validation. But instead, you gave them silence. You gave them a door slammed shut in their face. And now they're standing on the other side, knocking, pleading, hoping you'll open it again. But you won't, will you? Because you finally realized something they never wanted you to see. You don't need them. You never did. They were just noise, background chatter, trying to drown out the sound of your own heartbeat. And now that you've cut through the noise, all that's left is the truth. The truth that you're stronger without them. The truth that your silence is the most powerful answer you could have given. You've become something they can't control, something they can't predict, and that's what's driving them insane. They're used to pulling the strings, making people dance to their tune. But you cut the strings, didn't you? You tore them apart and walked away, leaving them with nothing but their own emptiness. And now They're stumbling around in the dark, lost and confused, because they don't know how to live in a world where they don't have power over you. Let me tell you something they'll never admit. They're afraid of you now. They won't say it out loud. They'll hide it behind fake smiles and forced laughter. But deep down, they're terrified. Because they know they can't manipulate you anymore. They can't twist your words, can't push your buttons. You've become a wall they can't break through, a shadow they can't outrun. And the best part, they did this to themselves. They thought they could play with fire, but they forgot that fire burns. They thought they could walk all over you, but now they're the ones stumbling, tripping over the cracks in their own lives. They wanted your anger, your tears, your screams, but instead, you gave them silence, a silence that's louder than any explosion, more deafening than any scream. You've become their greatest fear, not because you're loud, not because you're aggressive, but because you're silent, because you've shown them that you don't need to raise your voice to be heard. You don't need to fight to prove your strength. You've learned the art of silence, the power of patience, and now you're the calm before the storm they'll never see coming. They expected your anger, but your silence, that's what will haunt them for the rest of their lives. And that, my friend, is the sweetest revenge of all. You know, it's almost funny how they thought they had you all figured out. They thought you were an open book, didn't they? Easy to read, easy to manipulate. They convinced themselves that they knew your every thought, every feeling, every possible reaction. And why wouldn't they? You were honest with them. You showed them your heart, gave them a front row seat to your pain, your struggles. You were real with them. But that's where they made their first mistake. They took your honesty for weakness. They saw your openness as a flaw, something they could exploit. They thought, here's someone we can control. Here's someone who will bend and break for us. They never imagined that one day you'd stop talking, that one day you'd close the book and lock it shut. And now they're left staring at a cover they can't open, trying to guess the story hidden behind your silence. You've become a closed chapter in a book they'll never finish reading. And that's what eats away at them the most. They wanted to know everything, to have control over every page of your life. But now they're stuck with half a story, the ending ripped out, and they'll never know how it concludes. It's driving them mad, you know. They're replaying every conversation, every moment, trying to piece together a puzzle that no longer exists. And the silence you gave them? Oh, it's poetic justice. Because for the first time, they're the ones in the dark. They're the ones feeling lost, confused, helpless. It's like you flipped the entire game on its head. They were so used to pulling your strings, treating you like their little puppet. But now the puppet's strings are cut, and they're left with nothing but the empty stage where you once stood. Let me tell you something about silence. It's not just the absence of noise. It's a statement. It's a wall you've built, brick by brick, with every betrayal, every lie, every time they twisted your words and made you feel small. It's the armor you put on when you realized they didn't deserve your truth anymore. And it's stronger than any scream, any outburst, any explosion of anger. Because silence can't be argued with. It can't be twisted or manipulated. It's the final word, the ultimate checkmate. You've become the silence that haunts their every thought. They wake up in the middle of the night, heart pounding, because they can still feel the weight of it. It's like a shadow, always lurking in the corners of their mind, reminding them of everything they did to push you away. And the worst part? They can't fix it. They can't undo it. They can't go back to the way things were, because you've changed the rules. You've taken away their power, and they don't know how to handle that. Oh, they're desperate now. They're trying to find a crack in your armor, a weakness they can exploit. They're whispering to each other, plotting, scheming, hoping to get a reaction out of you. But all they get is silence. And it's beautiful, isn't it? Watching them squirm, watching them unravel, all because you chose to say nothing. You've become their biggest fear. Not because you're dangerous, but because you're unknown. You're the silence they can't break. The question they can't answer. You've learned something most people never figure out. Silence isn't just a response. It's a decision. It's choosing not to waste your breath on people who've shown you they don't deserve it. It's choosing to protect your peace, your energy, your soul. It's standing tall, even when every part of you wants to scream, wants to lash out, wants to burn everything to the ground. It's the ultimate act of self-control, of power. They never saw it coming. They thought they could break you, that you'd fall apart without them. But instead, you became stronger, colder, more focused. You took every piece they shattered and rebuilt yourself into something they can't touch, can't manipulate, can't destroy. And now, they're left standing in the ruins of their own creation, wondering where it all went wrong. They expected your anger. They prepared for it. They were ready for the shouting, the fights, the chaos. But your silence, that's what terrifies them. It's the calm before the storm, the quiet before the world goes dark. It's the sound of everything they lost, everything they took for granted. And it's the loudest sound they'll ever hear. You've shown them what true power looks like. It's not in the screams or the fights. It's in the silence. The silence that tells them, without a single word, that you've moved on, that you've outgrown them, that you no longer need their validation. It's the silence that leaves them wondering, questioning, fearing what comes next. And that's the sound of victory.